How do you catch huge moves in the markets? The key is you got to get in early. This is, by the way, very important. There are certain concepts in trading that you need to learn, and this one is called the early/late principle. And what it means is that you always want to get in early. Professionals get in early, amateurs get in late. And here's the thing that's difficult about that. If you look at this chart, for example, oil. Okay, today we're talking about oil because oil had a big move. We've had this happen recently in gold, silver, a lot of different things that have just popped off. And you see them in the news and you hear about them. But when do you hear about them? You hear about them after they've already taken off. And that's the problem. So people are getting in late because, well, now it's already done and you don't want to chase it, right? You don't want to chase the market. So early late principle means we got to get in before the big move happens. Now, obviously, the big question is, well, that's great, period, but how? HOW, how do you do it? The how to. That's what I'm here to explain to you right now. So, as Cool in the Game once said, let's get down on it. So I've got a daily chart of oil on the right. I've got a 3-day chart on the left. Now, this is the key. I'm actually going to give away the secret sauce here a little bit right at the beginning in the first minute or so of the video. The secret is the longer term chart. And another secret within that is you want a 1-to-3 ratio. That is absolutely key. This is one of the things that most people mess up, is that they might use multiple time frames, but they're using a different ratio between the two different time frames, between the two different charts. They might use a daily and a weekly. They might use a 1 minute and a 5 minute, or I've seen people use a 4 hour and a daily. Absolutely horrible things to do. It'll actually hurt your trading. It'll make you lose money, is what it'll do. So we want to use a 1-to-3 ratio. Why? Because that is the key ratio where we are getting close enough data. In other words, it's not so lagging on the longer term chart compared to the short term chart. Now, again, I mentioned some other time frames. So yes, I'm using a 1 day and a 3 day, but you could use a 1 minute and a 3 minute. You could use a 1,000 tick chart and a 3,000 tick chart, whatever. The ratio is the key. It's not so much what is the time interval. And we could talk about that in another video if you want to. Okay, so here's where we got. We got oil really had just been kind of meandering along for a long time. In fact, let me change the chart view here a little bit. And what you can see is, if you look at the moving averages, now I've got 4 moving averages on my chart. The 15 EMA, the 50 SMA, the 100 SMA, and the 200 SMA. And this is a pattern that is often referred to as a coiled spring, when the 4 moving averages are all very close together, very tightly bound together like that. And what does that literally mean? So it's not just that, oh, well, when that pattern occurs, that means we have consolidation. No, there's a literal meaning to it, and that is that literally over the last 15 bars and 50 bars and 100 bars and 200 bars, there hasn't been any significant price change for a long time. So that's what it means. Now, when we see a coiled spring like this, what we're looking for is contraction or consolidation to then turn into expansion and catch those big moves that I was talking about earlier. So now let's go to the how-to. So if we open this up a little bit, scale it open a little bit here so that you can see better. So now what we've got is we've got our wave counts. And by the way, these wave counts are not Elliott wave. These are technique that I came up with that is objective and rule-based. So it is not just subjective. And we don't require that every trend have 5 waves like Elliott wave does and impose that on the market. No, we just measure what the market action is doing, then we assign waves to it. So very objective. All right, so here we've got a wave 1, and there's a wave 2. Now, wave 2, that's the first retrace in a new trend. That is the earliest you can get into a new trend trade. So you notice that we had our moving averages all kind of clustered here, and then boom, we get a bit of a move here. Okay, so now we're clearing above the moving averages. And what we want to see on a retrace for a trend is we want to see it hold that 15 EMA as resistance. And what that means is strength up, weakness down. Now, this turns into consolidation as well. A, B, C, and then we put in a 3, finally. And then we come back down, again, holding the 15 EMA. The 15 EMA is our line in the sand. I use it as a relative strength indication. I want that in an uptrend. I want it to be support. Because what we want, the model here, again, everything has a market logic behind it. So the market logic here is when we've got a bullish market, we want strength up, weakness down. Strength up, weakness down. Strength up. Now, what does that, again, mean? What's behind that? What's behind that is there is the big money, the smart money coming in buying, but we don't want the big money selling if there's going to be a sustained uptrend. So the weakness down means, oh, there may be some profit taking there, or maybe there's some retail selling. So that's not going to cause a lot of energy or bearish market movement. And then the big money, the smart money comes back in, pulls it back up, strength up, weakness down, strength up. And so that's the concepts behind it. And that's why it's important, and that's why it works. Okay, none of this is just stuff you make up. There's all logical reasons. I call these principles market logic. And so then, of course, we have to have a tool, a rule-based tool for measuring that, and that's what I use the 15 EMA for. Now, this is the second retrace in the trend. So you could have gotten in here, or you could have gotten in here. Both are fine. Okay, obviously, this is the one where kablambo, it goes parabolic. Now, I said the key was the longer-term chart. So far, we've only been talking about the short-term chart. So let's go over to the long-term chart, and let me show you a thing that not many people look at. So let me rescale my charts here again for you, because now we're going to look at this chart. Now, this indicator down here is our momentum indicator. Now, one thing I want to show you, and this is really the key to the kingdom. Look how the momentum indicator way back here, even toward the beginning of the year, it got above zero and started going up, 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 and it separated from the zero line, right? That's the zero line. And then it really went up. But this whole time, there's a lot of separation here. But over here on the daily chart, there's not. Again, the momentum indicator just hovers around zero. Right? It's kind of like those moving averages just kind of clustered together. Here again, momentum just kind of hovering a little bit above zero, not much. But on the 3-day chart, on the long-term chart, we see it first. And that's the key. You gotta see something other people don't see. This is the key to successful trading. If you want to get in early before others, you gotta see something before other people see it. When it's obvious to everybody in their parakeet, you're too late to the party, don't take the trade, you'll be chasing the trade. And as you can see, once it went parabolic, well, what happened? We got a big candle, but then there was a big red candle, ended up closing down here, and then today, again, just pretty much closing around the same area. So, you wanted to get in way down here. Now, look at this. Let's see, let me get these drawings off of here, okay. So, if you can see the crosshairs, I got my crosshairs aligned. So if we go here to that second retrace in the trend that I talked about here, right here. Okay, and if you look over on the left chart, you can see the crosshairs are, well, they're called global crosshairs. So you can see the vertical line over there. You can see the vertical line on the daily chart. Look at that momentum indicator down on the daily chart. It's basically down there pretty flat. But on the 3-day, it had already moved up. So we are seeing that there before we see it on the daily chart. This is why it's important to see markets from multiple perspectives. It's almost like 3D chess, where you've got different dimensions that you're looking at. In one dimension, you look at that and you'll see something that you don't see in the other dimension. So that's how we do it. Go ahead and get my cycle indicator. I give it to all my viewers, hopefully subscribers as well. If you haven't subscribed, please do. But this market timing indicator, I call it my cycle indicator, it helps me to get into the market at the exact right time with amazing precision, pinpoint precision to the penny, to the pip, to the tick. And when you get that, obviously absolutely free, I also give you a free tutorial on how to trade it. It's just like my lesson today, right? I like to explain things so you know what you're trading. You're not just trading blindly because somebody, including me, don't trade just what somebody tells you. You want to understand it, and that person should be able to give you the logical reason as to why it works. Now, if it doesn't make sense to you, then don't trade it. Well, when I give you the cycle indicator, I also give you a little video tutorial, 100% free, and I explain the logic behind it and also the exact patterns. There's patterns on the indicator that we trade. And though that's the secret sauce, is the pattern on the indicators. All right, so very good. Feel free to leave comments below if you have any questions, and happy trades.
No.